Now we've got a nice algebraic question here that involves roots, brackets, factors. In fact, the factor theorem is going on here. What I have got is I am told that these things are roots. That's to say that if I put them in the formula, the answer will be 0. Now, I know that if I'm told that alpha is a root, then I can put a bracket x minus alpha as a factor of that formula. Now, it works twice, so it's that, and 4 is also a root. That's to say that zeroes it as well. So I know that this thing has 3 factors, in other words 3 brackets. What I'm doing here is I'm using what's called the factor theorem. Factor theorem pretty much tells me that if I know a root, then I know a bracket, and if I know a bracket, I know a root. This is a cubic equation, so it's got 3 roots. I'm given them all, so I know 3 brackets. That's pretty much all there is. If I put alpha into that bracket, then alpha minus alpha would give me a 0. The whole thing would equal 0. I know that. If I put 4 in, that would become 0, and then 0 times whatever would give me the 0 again. So if I know brackets, I know roots, and if I know roots, I know brackets. In a nutshell, the factor theorem. So 3 roots, 3 brackets. Anyway, let's move on. Don't want to labour the point. What we will get now, if we multiply this thing out, then we will start getting, well, I can see I'm going to get a x squared out of this. I can also see that I'm going to get a plus alpha squared. And in fact, I can see in the middle here, I get a minus 2 alpha times x. And then I've got to multiply by the next bracket. But before I go any further, one thing you'll notice that we've got, well, we'll certainly get the x cubed. You can see where the x cubed comes from, there. Everything else will have x in. The only thing that doesn't have x in is that times that when we multiply these out. And the only thing that doesn't have x in is here. Minus 36, which means that minus 4 alpha squared, that multiplied by that is where this minus 36 comes from. So what we have is minus 4 alpha squared is the bit that gives me the minus 36. Alpha squared must be 9, alpha must be 3, and if you're asking why not minus 3, we're told up here that alpha is an element of z integers plus positive integers. We can't have minus 3, positive 3 it is. So alpha is 3. How do we get the p and q? Easy. Once we know 3, then we can pretty much put 3 straight in and it should tell us everything we want to know. Let's just slot 3 in here. X squared, 2 3's, minus 6x, plus 3 squared, 9, x minus 4. Now, I don't know whether you ever do this, but one of the neat ways to quickly multiply these things out is to actually just use a multiplication grid. I'm going to do it. It might seem like a long-winded way to do this. I guess the nice thing about this is it rarely goes wrong. Very easy to see what you've got, and very neat to do. So I'm going to get an x cubed, 6x squared, 9x, and then all I've got to do is put these together. So what I've got, x cubed minus 10x squared, 33x, and the bit we used a minute ago, the minus 36, and there we go, and that's telling me that p must be minus 10, q equals 33, and as we knew, alpha is 3. Problem done.